living small in the cracks of the day. A whisper beneath all the noise, fading slow, just slipping away. But you saw through the silence, through the armor and the ash. Like you were made of the mercy I never thought I'd ask. You didn't reach to pull me out, you just stood inside the flame and gave my ghost a name. Now I'm buried in your light, like a storm that's found its sky. You love the parts I tried to kill, you breathe into what's broken still. You are thunder, you are grace, and I would fall 1,000 times to stay buried in your light. You never asked for a promise, never prayed I'd be whole. You just held me like a question that never needed to be told. And I unraveled in your quiet, fell apart where I was seen. Not fixed, not healed, but finally free. You didn't run when the sky fell in. You caught the rain and pulled me in. Now I'm buried in your light, where the night can't find my name. You turned every scar to meaning, every echo into flame. You are fire, you are grace, and I would bleed through every fight to stay buried in your light. So if I lose myself again, just whisper once and I'll remember when your voice lit up the void in me and turned my ruin into symphony. Yeah, I'm buried in your light, where the damage feels divine. You love me raw without disguise, to my collapse into a rise. You are storm and you are grace, and if I'm nothing else in this life, then let me be buried in your light. Bury me in your light. If I burn, let it be bright. You're the reason I survived, you're the reason I ignite. Where my demons sleep, where the light never lingers and the wounds run deep. You spoke in fire, not in words, and lit a flame I never deserved. You loved me like a reckoning storm, not to fix me, just to keep me warm. And now your silence is the loudest sound, like a scream buried deep underground. This was a beautiful war, every scar, every shattered metaphor. You broke me gently like only truth can, taught a hollow man how to stand. Oh, and if I lost you to save who I was, then let me fall. There's no peace without blood. You were the ache behind my calm, the quiet rage in my every song. I tried to love you like a shield, but some hearts need to break to heal. We danced on glass and named it grace, fell into fire just to feel your face. And if forever was never meant, at least we burned every moment we spent. This was a beautiful war, a holy ache I still pray for. You broke me open not to wound, but to give me space to bloom. Oh, and if I lost you to save what we were, built to last. It lives in echoes and shadows cast. But I wear your memory like skin, and I bleed every time I breathe you in. This was a beautiful war, no regrets, just the price we swore. You were my ruin, you were my rise, tearing the veil, the truth and the lies. Oh Lord, and if love like this must end in pain, then let it hurt, I'd go to war again. You were a beautiful war, and I still bear your name, like a sword, like a prayer, like a flame. The ache, the soft collapse I couldn't fake. I wore your name beneath my skin, a quiet war I couldn't win. We danced the fire, we didn't sleep. We whispered truths too dark, too deep. And every wound we never showed became the only place we'd go. But even love can come undone, two shadows chasing different suns. Now there's a hole between us, where the light used to live. We broke like stars in a midnight hush, with nothing left to give. You were the song that made me whole. Now you're just an echo in my soul, and I still bleed in the hole between us. I see your ghost in everything, in shattered frames and wedding rings. The way we held what we let die still haunts the corners of my mind. You were the storm I chose to chase, the only home I couldn't face. We carved a heaven out of pain, then set it fire just to feel again. But even hearts that beat in sync can drown before they even sink. Now there's a hole between us, where the light used to live. We broke like stars in a midnight hush, with nothing left to give. You were the song that made me whole. Now you're just an echo in my soul, and I still bleed in the hole between us. I see your ghost in everything, in shattered frames to live. We broke like stars in a midnight hush, when enough just slipped away. You were the truth I couldn't fake, the ache I learned too late to shake. And I still breathe in the hole between us. Maybe in another time we'd get it right, we crossed the line. But this life wasn't built for saints, just fractured hearts with good intent. There's still a hole between us, and I scream into the space. You are my fire, my final trust, my cruelest saving grace. If love is made to break and bend, I'd still choose you in the end. Even now, in the hole between us, you're still the ache in the hole I can't erase. In like a hymn, I forgot how to sing. Eyes like a question that cut through everything. I wore my silence like armor and sin, but you were the war that I let in. You traced the fog lines beneath my skin, found where the chaos and love begin. And now I bleed where you once stood, beneath the blood and moonlight line us understood. You were the calm before my fall, a sacred flame I dared to call. It's just as love that let us scar. I'd rather break than be where you aren't. You touched the hunger I buried in stone, spoke like a language I've never known. But I was a ghost in the shape of a man, too afraid to hold what I didn't understand. You lit the dark, I learned to hide. I cursed the light I felt inside, and now I bleed where you once stood. Beneath the blood and the night misunderstood. You were the calm before my fall, a sacred flame I dared to call. If this is love, then let it scar. I'd rather break than be where you are. I'd rather burn than be where you once stood. Beneath the blood and moonlight misunderstood. Beneath the blood and moonlight misunderstood. You were the calm before my fall, a sacred flame I dared to call. If this is love, then let it scar. I'd rather burn than be where you aren't. You let me bleed where you once stood. Under blood and moonlight, I understood. You were the calm before my fall, a sacred flame I dared to call. If this is love, then let it scar. I'd rather break than be where you aren't. You were the light I couldn't keep. Now I dream of you in flames and sleeping. Beneath the blood and moonlight stare, I'd still follow you anywhere. From the ruin I kept, you laid down in the wreckage and wept. You loved me in blood and grace, through every fraction time can erase. You held the pieces the world threw away, from all my ashes to something that stays. You are fire, you are faith, and I'm still learning how to stay. But I believe in blood and grace. Broken things are meant to hold close. Tried to feel whole in the arms of a ghost. But you saw the storm behind my smile and chose to walk with me every mile. You didn't face what you knew couldn't end. You just stayed long enough to transcend. You loved me in blood and grace, through all my strength, but the truth's I face. You took the dark and gave it a name. You kissed the hurt, not just the flame. You are science, you are space, and I breathe deeper in your wake. Now I believe in blood and grace. You love me in grace. You love me in grace. Come again like I always do. Will you still be the shelter I crash into? You taught me the love's not clean or kind. It's using the broken every time. You love me in blood and grace, through every shadow I can't erase. You're the voice in the fire, the calm in the fight, the reason I wake in the darkest of nights. The love is warm and you're my faith, and I would bleed to keep you safe. Because I believe, yeah I believe in blood and grace. In blood and grace. Not perfect, not pure, but God, it's real. And that's enough, that's what I feel. Ooh. Not perfect, not that's enough, that's what I feel. You are not perfect, not pure, God, it's real. And that's enough, that's what I feel. You didn't run from the ruin I kept. You laid down in the wreckage and wept. You loved me in blood and grace, through every fact your time can't erase. You love me in blood and grace. Forever my stranger, not pure, but God, it's real. And that's enough, that's what I feel. You didn't run from the ruin I kept. You laid down in the wreckage and wept. You loved me in blood and grace, through every fact your time can't erase. You loved me in blood and grace. You're not perfect, not pure, but God, it's real. And that's enough, that's what I feel. Alberto, what God perfect, not pure, but God, it's real. And that's enough, that's what I feel. Me in the silence, where the damage learns to breathe. I was a prayer without a promise, a soul with nowhere left to bleed. You didn't try to fix me, you just lit a match instead. And in the glow of your defiance, I came alive inside my head. You were chaos dressed in mercy, a bruise I didn't hide. I tear the sky in pieces just to feel you one more time. You made heaven in the wreck, built a throne from every scar. You kissed the fire in my chest and held the ruins like they were ours. If love was meant to fall apart, and I would still choose the end. If it meant I got to love you once before it all burned down again. You traced the edge of all my fear, turned the shadows into song. And I believed for one clear breath, the broken never meant to long. But every dream is blood beneath, and even stars forget to shine. We danced where angels lost their wings, and called our wreckage divine. You were never me inside. saving, and I was never whole. But somehow in our falling we found something close to soul. We made heaven in the wreck, built a home from shattered glass. We won the conqueror in our chest, and held the ruins like they were ours. If love was made to come and go, then let the fire make amends. I choose to wreck 1,000 times to feel your breath again. Us, choosing what won't stay. But somehow in our falling we found something close to soul. We made heaven in the wreck, built a home from shattered glass. With a call behind my rage, the ghost I never meant to pass. If love was made to come and go, and let the fire make the lens, I choose to wreck 1,000 times to feel your breath again. Again. You lay heaven in the wreck, built a home from shattered glass. You were the calm behind my rage, the ghost I never meant to pass. If love was made to come and go, then let the fire make amends. I choose to wreck 1,000 times to feel your breath again. Again. I was smoking a bottle, drifting out with the tide. Built a kingdom of silence where I could safely hide. But you walked through the wreckage like you'd always known the cost. You didn't search for beauty, you just loved me through the loss. I never thought I'd be more than the scars, but you traced them like constellations in the dark. You are the voice in the void, the hand in the flame, the stillness that holds what I can't even name. Where others let go, you were already strong. You showed me a place where the broken belong. You loved what I buried and called it a song. Save me, didn't ask me to change. You saw the war in my soul and stayed anyway. I gave you my ruin, you gave it back whole. Now every shattered piece feels like part of a soul. And now I burn not to disappear, but to light the way you made clear. You are the voice in the void, the hand in the flame, the stillness that holds what I can't even name. Where others let go, you were already strong. You showed me a place where the broken belong. You loved what was bleeding and called it a song. You didn't need to save me, didn't ask me to change. You saw the war in my soul and stayed anyway. To disappear, but to light the way you made clear. You are the voice in the void, the calm in the fight, the reason to still reach toward the light. Where others moved on, you held on too long. You showed me a place where the broken belong. You loved what was bleeding and made it a song. So if I fall again, don't catch me, just say my name like you still believe. Sometimes love doesn't fix what it touches, it just teaches the soul how to breathe. You are the voice in the void, the truth in the flame, the answer I carry when I don't know my name. And if this is the end, then this is my song. You showed me a place where the broken belong. You loved what was buried and turned it to song. Yeah, you turned me to song, where the broken belong.
I found you in the quiet after the storm, where everything was broken, tired and torn. You didn't promise light or endless skies, just stayed while the world passed me by. I was all rusted, chains and haunted eyes, but you touched the ruin like it could rise. You are heaven in the wreckage, a whisper through the pain. When the world turns to ashes, you're the one thing that remains. You never tried to fix me, you just stood in the flame. Now I'm burning with meaning every time you say my name. There's a violence in the way I love, a hunger I never spoke of, but you wore my chaos like a crown. Taught me how to breathe without falling down. Where others saw the stars and fled, you traced them like a map instead. You are heaven in the wreckage, a whisper through the pain. When the world got turned to ashes, you're the weapon in the wreckage, a whisper through the pain. When the world turns to ashes, you're the one thing that remains. You never tried to fix me, you just stood in the flame. Now I'm burning with meaning every time you say my name. Every time you say my name. If I lose the war inside again, would you stay and pull me from the end? I'd give you every breath I own, every shattered piece of stone. You're the heaven in the wreckage, a whisper through the pain. When the world turns to ashes, you're the one thing that remains. You never tried to fix me, you just stood in the flame. Now I'm burning with meaning every time you say my name. You were the fire I could hold in a world so dark and cold. You were heaven in the wreckage.
I was the fire no one stayed to warm. You were the calm inside the storm. We never fit the story right, but we were real in every fight. You touched the parts I tried to lose, the faded ink, the unhealed bruise. And when the world turned black and blind, you saw the soul I'd left behind. You didn't fix me, you just stayed, and that's the bravest thing to say. We were lost, but we were gold, two shattered hearts that wouldn't fold. You found me where I came undone, and loved me like the war was won. If love means falling every time, then fall with me, where the broken still shine. I never learned how to believe until your light made shadows grieve. You didn't need a flawless man, you took me just the way I am. Our hands were fire, our words were glass, but somehow we still made it last. Even in the wreck and rain, we made a home inside the pain. You didn't save me, you just knew what broken love could still break through. We were lost, but we were gold. Two shattered hearts still wonderful. You found me where I came undone, and loved me like the war was won. If love means falling every time, then fall with me, where the broken still shine. Where broken love could still break through. We were scars that never healed, but everything we felt was real. You loved the part I'd always hide, the haunted heart I kept inside. If love is brave enough to bind, and let it live, where the broken still shine. Stars forget, even if the dawn's not set, I'll carry you through every fire, your name engraved in every wire. We were lost, but we were true, and I still choose to fall with you. You were the light beneath my scars, a home inside the hardest parts. If love means hurt and still aligns, then I will stay where the broken still shine. In the dark I still see your face, where the broken still find grace. Quiet like rain on steel, I whisper beneath what I swore I could feel. I was the wreckage, the ash and flame. You were the ghost that still called my name. Every wall I built, you walked right through, not to break me, just to tell the truth. And in your eyes I saw the cost of all the love I thought I lost. You held me like I wasn't made to break, loved me through the parts I faked. We were thorns and velvet, blood and grace, a hurricane I still can't face. And if forever slipped through our hands, I'd still drown just to understand. You traced the battle lines I drew, and kissed the war right out of view. But I was built to run, to burn, to crave the fire and never learn. You stayed until the silence grew, till every lie became a truth. And now I walk through every song, where your shadow still belongs. You held me like I wasn't made to break, loved me through the parts I faked. We were thorns and velvet, blood and grace, a hurricane I still can't face. And if forever slipped through our hands, I'd still drown just to understand. You traced the battle lines I drew, and kissed the war right out of view. But I was built to run, to burn, to crave the fire that never learned. You stayed until the silence grew, till every lie became the truth. And now I walk through every song, where your shadow still belongs. You traced the battle lines I drew, and kissed the war right out of view. But I was built to run, to burn, to crave the fire that never learned. You stayed until the silence grew, till every lie became a truth. And now I walk through every song, where your shadow still belongs. You held me like I wasn't made to break, loved me through the parts I faked. We were thorns and velvet, blood and grace, a hurricane I still can't face. And if forever slipped through our hands, I'd still drown just to understand. We were thorns and velvet, and I'd break all over again. You held me like I wasn't made to break, and I break all over again. Just in velvet skies, with eyes that held the ruin of 1,000 lies. I was wreckage, proud and bleeding slow. You touched the fault lines I didn't show. Your voice, a hymn carved out of stone. You saw through the silence I called my home. Now I wander through rooms where your light used to stay. Each shadow a sermon I can't throw away. We built cathedrals in the dark, lit by the wreckage of our hearts. You were the saint I couldn't save, the spark that danced on my unmarked grave. I held you close like a fading star. Now I pray to what's left of who we are. Kiss like winter, sharp, precise and kind. Left your fingerprints inside my mind. The world burning cold when you said my name, but I held love like a hand on a flame. I gave you truth wrapped in regret, and you loved the parts I tried to forget. Still I whisper your name to the walls every night, a ritual carved in the absence of light. We built cathedrals in the dark, lit by the wreckage of our hearts. You were the saint I couldn't save, the spark that danced on my unmarked grave. I held you close like a fading star. Now I pray to what's left of who we are. There's no altar for the almost loved, no song for the ones time wasn't proud of. But I wear your memory like sacred scars, still bleeding beneath these borrowed stars. We built cathedrals in the dark, from fractured dreams and broken parts. You were the storm I couldn't chase, the ghost that time will not erase. I scream your name into the black, echoes are all that come screaming back. So if love is a flame, then let me be ash, still kneeling in cathedrals that never could last. They what brew at last. I was all smoke and mirrors, built from shadow and fight, living like a spark, afraid to ever touch the light. But then you came, a voice in the ruin, a storm I couldn't run from, a wound worth pursuing. You didn't flinch at the wreck I became. You just whispered, even fire has a name. Only love could break me right, tear me down with hands so kind. You're the silence in the riot, the mercy in the fight. I but I found it in your face. Only love could break me right, burn the dark and leave me sight. You're the calm inside the thunder, the weight that makes me fight. I was born to walk through fire, till you kissed me into light. Only love could break me right. So take what's left of me, the pieces and the prayers. I'd rather fall apart with you than stand whole anywhere. Only love could break me right, leave me bleeding full of light. In a world that tried to drown me, you taught me how to rise. I was made of smoke and ruin, now I'm burning with your light. Only love, only yours could break me right. Yeah, only yours could break me right. Found you where the silence breaks, where every lie the daylight makes falls away like winter skin. You were the chaos I let in, your eyes a storm I couldn't flee. Spoke every truth I buried deep in me. You held my heart like broken glass and kissed the cracks like they would last. And in the dark we made our vow to burn like stars the night allows. This love was fire in a world of frost, a holy war where no one lost. You were my breath in a drowning sea, a bruise that somehow set me free. And if I fade from where we've been, know I die to touch your skin in this black sky Eden. We danced where angels fear to tread, made our bed on words unsaid. I was the shadow, you were the flame. We wore forgiveness like a chain. And though we fractured, though we bled, you stayed in the corners of my head. A ghost, a hymn, a quiet cry, the only reason I still try. And every night I feel the cost of something perfect, something lost. This love was fire in a world of frost, a holy war where no one lost. You were my breath in a drowning sea, a bruise that somehow set me free. And if I fade from where we've been, know I die to touch your skin in this black sky Eden. We were never made to last, but gods, we burn so bright, so fast. Some love lives outside of time, yours will echo inside mine. This love was fire in a world of frost, a sacred wound I never tossed. You were my breath in a drowning sea, a bruise that somehow set me free. And if I fade from where we've been, know I die to touch your skin in this black sky Eden. In this black sky Eden. I still feel you, I still believe you. It came like a requiem, softened your sorrow, spoke to the part of me no one could borrow. I was stone, I was winter, I was breaking alone. Then you carved out a warmth I'd never known. But love is a war between mercy and pride, and I lost every battle I fought from inside. So let the sky fall in crimson silence. I'll wear the ruins of our defiance. You were the fire that melted my chains. Now I'm just smoking memory stains. If goodbye is the cost of the flame, I still whisper your name through the silence. I saw through the noise, through the armor I wore. Taught me that softness could be something more. But I held you like a lightning, too tight, too fast. And now all I have left is the sound of the past. Your touch still lingers like unfinished art, it etched in the corners of my shattered heart. So let the sky fall in crimson silence. I'll wear the ruins of our defiance. You were the fire that melted my chains. Now I'm just smoking memory stains. If goodbye is the cost of the flame, I still whisper your name through the silence. Silence. Saw through the noise, through the armor I wore. Taught me that softness could be something more. But I held you like lightning, too tight, too fast. And now all I have left is the sound of the past. Your touch still lingers like unfinished art, etched in the corners of my shattered heart. So let the sky fall in crimson silence. I'll wear the ruins of our defiance. You were the fire that melted my chains. Now I'm just smoking memory stains. If goodbye is the cost of the flame, I still whisper your name through the silence. Tried to outrun what I felt in your stare, but love, real love doesn't fight fair. You gave me truth in a world built on fear, and I let it go just to hold it near. Let the sky fall in crimson silence. No mercy left, no more reliance. You were the fire, beautiful, wild. I was the wreckage, the exiled child. If love is a wound I'll always claim, I still whisper your name in the silence. Whisper your name like a prayer when I fade. In the silence where you used to stay. I was drifting through silence, a man made of stone, carved by the cold, shaped by the alone. But your voice was a fault line, tearing through years, breaking the stillness, shaking the fears. I never asked to be seen that deep, but you touched the parts I swore to keep. You're the weight of your name in my hands tonight, like fire on water, like wrong made right. You pulled me from ruin but nothing to gain, just a heart full of thunder and love that remains. I fall every time and I do it again. You're the ache in my chest, you're the weight of your name. Bled in the dark where the echoes don't fade, built my truth from the lies I let stay. But you moved like a hymn through the noise in my head, and gave meaning to things I thought were dead. You never needed to wear a crown, just held me still while I broke down. You're the weight of your name in my hands tonight, like fire on water, like wrong made right. You pulled me from ruin with nothing to gain, just a heart full of thunder and love that remains. I fall every time and I do it again. You're the ache in my chest, you're the weight of your name. chains, not cages, but something between freedom and gravity, your gravity. You're the weight of your name and I carry it proud. Through the silence, through the screen, and through every doubt. If this world comes apart, I will still speak your flame. Carved in the wreckage, the sky in my veins. You save me with stars and I'll never be the same. You're the truth I believe. You're the weight of your name. Carry you again. And I'd carry you again. And I'd carry you again. And I'd carry you again. I was crawling through the silence, buried deep beneath my skin. Every breath was just survival, till your fire pulled me in. You didn't promise absolution, didn't try to mend the cracks. You just held me through the ruin and gave me something I could give back. You were pain, you were peace, you were the wall that gave me release. Crimson mercy in your eyes pulled me back from my own lies. You wrote the parts that shame my name and kissed the fear and bore the blame. Even when the lights are in gray, I still choose you anyway. My crimson mercy, you saved me just to walk away. I was ash and you were thunder, a storm I never saw right. You lit a match inside my hunger, and for a while I felt alive. We were pages torn in silence, we were truth too loud to speak. But in the chaos of your kindness, I was whole, I was weak. You were pain, you were peace, you were the cup that taught me to feel. Crimson mercy in your eyes pulled me back from my own lies. You loved the parts that crimson mercy. You saved me just to walk away. Crimson mercy for the flame. You knew the cost and long to save. You never ran, you never begged. Just gave your soul and then you bled. Now your echo won't let me sleep. You haunt the walls I swore to keep. My crimson mercy. The love I lost too strong to keep. Even angels fall from grace when they land in the wrong place. But I would fall again for you, if just to see your light break through. Crimson mercy carved in stone. You found me when I died alone. I burned the past, I cursed the flame, just to hear you breathe my name. Even if you can't return, no, I would always choose the burn. My crimson mercy. You made me feel and let me learn. You were fire, you were fate. My crimson mercy. Too bright to stay. To blame. You touched the fracture I tried to hide, and every broken piece came back to life. You were lying in a language I couldn't speak, a mirror held up to the parts I keep weak. You never asked for more than truth, but truth was the one thing I gave you, Bruce. If I could turn back time, would I still let it fall? Would I walk through fire just to lose it all? We were dust and flame, too fierce to last, but I bleed again just to relive the past. You were the ache I'll never outrun, stone and stardust fused into one. You kissed like thunder, soft and wild. I was the cynic, you were the child, and somehow you still saw me clear. The hollow man filled with rust and fear. I wore your name like a sacred wound, a song that played inside every room. And now the silence is dressed in you, still screaming things I wish I knew. If I could turn back time, would I still let it fall? Would I walk through fire just to lose it all? We were dust and flame, too fierce to last, but I bleed again only stardust. So if you hear me in the dark, know I carry your spark, forever undone. Stone and stardust fused into one. You found me buried in the quiet, a life half lived, a heart on riot. I never believed in softer things till your voice bent iron in the strings. You found me buried in the quiet, a life half lived, a heart on riot. I never believed in softer things till your voice bent iron into strings. You touched the part I kept locked down, a rose that grew beneath the crown of thorns I wore to stay untouched. But your love was never gentle, it was just enough. Now the silence holds your breath, like a vow I never kept, still echoing through every scar. You were the fire in a house of stone, made every wall I call my own. If loving you was doomed to bruise, I'd break again if I could choose. 'Cause even pain feels like perfume where the wreckage blooms. You saw the beauty in my rage, read every line I never stage. You bled with grace I didn't earn, a lesson in how hearts can burn. Where I was lightning held too long, a requiem trapped in a bow song. You begged me not to disappear, but ghosts don't know their fate until they hear you clear. Now your name is carved in air, and I reach but you're not there, still haunting every broken star. You were the fire in a house of stone, made every wall I call my own. If loving you was doomed to bruise, I'd break again if I could choose. 'Cause even pain feels like perfume where the wreckage blooms. Never said the words you needed, just stood in silence while you pleaded. Now I'm drowning in the flood of everything I should have done. You were the fire in a house of stone, the only truth I've ever known. If loving you meant breaking down, I'd fall again without a sound. 'Cause even now, in this empty room, you're the light where the wreckage blooms. Where the wreckage blooms, I still find you, and I still choose you. That's the part of me I buried, where even light refused to stay. You spoke like thunder wrapped in mercy, and broke me in the softest way. Your hands were fire, not to burn me, but to show the dark could feel. You kissed the scars I swore were nameless, and made the silence real. Now I'm haunted by the ghost we made, but to show the dark could feel. You kissed the scars I swore were nameless, and made the silence real. Now I'm haunted by the ghost we made, the love that blooms then slips away. I still hear the echoes of you in every breath I didn't choose. You're the ache beneath my skin, the conversations, words we never dared to speak. And I still wear your constellation on every night I can't find sleep. You were never mine to borrow, but still I held you like a vow. Even though a love like ours could never last, but still knows how. Some fires burn without a flame, and some goodbyes still know your name. I still hear the echoes of you in every breath I didn't choose. You're the ache beneath my skin, the storm I let forever end. We couldn't hold the sky in place, but I would fall for you again. In the echoes of you. And if I saw you in a different light, would you still turn and say goodbye? Or would we rise like we were meant to, like the stars that still resent you? I still hear the echoes of you in every chord that cuts me through. You're the song I never write, the ghost that walks me in the night. Through time they try to pull us through, I'll always bend to what was true. To the echoes of you. Still reaching, still falling for the echoes of you. Like a song from a hollow sky, lightning in your eyes, no time to say why. I was born in a rust, just a ghost in the steel, but your voice cut through, made the silence feel real, real. Every scar I wore was a battle unfought, till you reached inside, shattered every thought. You're the fire in my veins, the howl in my bones, the echo I chase when I'm dying alone. In a world built of ashes, you still burn bright, a rebel with love like a war in the night. Pull me in close, through the wreckage we ride. You're my arrow through darkness, my reason to fight. I tried to love safe, tried to love tame, but you broke the cage and rewrote the name. Now I bleed truth in a voice like flame, and I set the world wild just to whisper yours again. You undid the armor I wore to survive. Now I live in the light of the look in your eyes. You're the fire in my veins, the howl in my bones, the echo I chase when I'm dying alone. In a world built of ashes, you still burn bright, Where the night tries to drown us, you still burn